right, let's talk a little bit about the Fed horse race. E.J. Antoni's Heritage Foundation chief economist, Mike Faulkender, former deputy Treasury secretary. Welcome back to both of you. So I'll start with Faulkender on this. Let's see. The Poly Market betting parlor, or it's a pay-to-play, has Kevin Hassett 75 and Kevin Warsh 13. The Kalshi, what is it, Kalshi or Kalshi? Anyway, that's pretty close to the same, 75, 15. Who's going to be the next Fed chair, Mike Faulkender?
I think it's going to be Kevin Hassett. Look, I think that the thing the president's going to look for is somebody that he knows, somebody that he trusts, and he has been working with Kevin Hassett not only for the last year of this administration, but he had two different roles in the first term. Kevin has been around, and the thing that the president most dislikes, I think, about his first term was the selection of Jay Powell. He went with somebody he did not know. The president's not going to make that mistake this time. He's going to go with Kevin, I think, because he knows him. And he also wants somebody who's an economist who understands what the economic impact of the policies that the Trump administration is implementing are going to be so that the Fed correctly changes policy to accommodate all of the growth that the administration is generating.
Well, okay, well put. E.J. Antoni, I'm not taking sides here, and I do want to note, Mike Faulkender is right about how brilliant Kevin Hassett is. No question about that, and a very dear friend. But another very dear friend of mine, Kevin Warsh, is also brilliant and also subscribes to the supply side, tax cuts, deregulation, drill, baby, drill. He subscribes to the growth approach that Mr. Trump wants, including lower interest rates. So anyway, with that in mind, EJ, who are you picking?
Well, Larry, what you just articulated is the whole reason there's a mystery here, right? It's the fact that both of these guys understand that pro-growth agenda. They both understand supply-side effects within the economy. And look, they both have, I think, a proven track record when it comes to economics. So I think either way, the president will make the right decision here. I will say I've been very impressed with the role Kevin Hassett has played currently at the White House, and I've also been very impressed with the way Kevin Warsh has articulated monetary policy and the fact that we need to get away from this new monetary framework, these very novel ideas that the Fed started introducing in March of 2020 that clearly haven't worked out very well. It's the whole reason they're having to restart QE, and they're going to be creating inflationary pressures within the economy next year. None of that is good.
They did it again. They announced it yesterday. Faulkender. They're going to expand the balance sheet, the footings of the Fed, the monetary base, which is really theoretically an inflationary move. I thought we were shrinking money. They're going to expand it. Why don't they stop paying interest to foreign banks, for example? Instead of expanding the balance sheet here, why don't they quit paying? I mean, they're paying a fortune in interest to foreign banks. Why don't they stop that?
Yeah, I don't for the life of me understand why they're expanding the balance sheet. We've got there's no reason why the Fed should play an even larger role in the economy. It has already mismanaged its interest rate environment for the last number of years. The last thing we need is for them to, again, engage in what Secretary Bessent calls gain-of-function monetary policy. They need to get back to their core activities, and that means not increasing the amount of money that's out there and buying bonds that are. I just don't understand why in this economic environment, with all of the growth that's going to be coming out of the administration, why they think they need to expand their balance sheet.
I mean, the federal government needs to stop selling bonds, a.k.a. stop spending money. And the Federal Reserve needs to stop putting more money in circulation. EJ, I'll give you the last word. That's it. Let's have fewer bonds and less money in circulation. And interest rates will come way down. They'll come way down. They'll come down to, something like 2% or 1.5% if you follow that.
Larry, you read my mind. Look, the loanable funds market is a market, right? And it has a price. That price is the interest rate. You decrease demand, you will decrease price. So how do you decrease demand in that market? You just borrow less. Who's the biggest borrower? The federal government.
Right.
So yes, if they borrow less, that will put downward pressure on interest rates. You're absolutely right. I will say, though, Larry, look, we got some really good news out of the Treasury this week. The fact is, for the first 2 months of this fiscal year, that would be October and November, we saw a huge reduction in the deficit.
Yeah.
That's tremendous news.
What, about
Outlays are down, receipts are up. That's great progress.
About $600 billion, some such thing. That's a big number. That's a very, they ought to keep doing it every quarter. Just keep taking $600 billion out every quarter. It'd be terrific stuff. Someday, not in my lifetime, maybe your lifetime, the budget will be balanced. I don't know. I'll never see it. Mike Faulkender, thank you very much. E.J. Antoni, thank you very much.